Good morning and welcome to St. Peter's Episcopal Church. I'm Daniel Cherrix, Director of Music. In just a few minutes after this Hymn of the Day segment, I'm going to go over to Salisbury United Methodist Church and record a recital for their Lenten series, the last piece of which will be a fugetta on the hymn tune Iste Confessor. And that hymn, that fugetta is written, composed by Healy Willan. So I thought that today we'd take a hymn from last Sunday, which in our hymnal, it's at 360, and the hymn tune is known as Rouen, like Rouen, France. Now, another name for that same tune is Iste Confessor. And Iste Confessor, or Rouen, sounds like this. And of course it goes on and sounds like other things. It was our opening hymn just this past Sunday. The words of which begin, Only begotten Word of the Father, eternal Lord of creation, merciful and mighty, hear now thy servants when their joyful voices rise to thy presence. It's a 9th century hymn, Latin, so that means 800s, doesn't it? The 800s this was written. In our hymnal, it says it's for the consecration of a church, but it was also very appropriate for the lectionary readings that we had just this last Sunday on the third Sunday of Lent. The words to stanza 3. Now think about this. This was written in the 800s. How timeless and universal are the following words? Here, in our sickness, healing grace aboundeth. Light in our blindness, in our toil refreshment. Sin is forgiven, hope or fear prevaileth, joy over sorrow. And when they're talking about here, the stanza before that says, This is thy temple, here thy presence chamber, here may thy servants at the mystic banquet, humbly adoring, take thy body broken, drink of thy chalice. Universal, timeless words. It ends with a beautiful doxology to the Trinity. Back to the tune. It comes from a French hymn book about 1746. As I've said, our hymnal editors call it Rouen. Other hymnal editors and other hymnals have called it Iste Confessor. It's harmonized by none other than Healy Willan, who wrote the fugetta, which I'm going to play over at Asbury in a few minutes. Healy Willan, 1880 to 1968, English composer, organist, choirmaster, teacher, spent the bulk of his career in Toronto, Canada, and he taught at the conservatory there. He was an organist choirmaster at St. Paul's, which was at that time the largest Anglican church in Canada, and also at St. Mary Magdalene, an Anglo-Catholic parish in Canada. He was invited to compose an anthem for Elizabeth II's coronation. Here we go. I'm going to only play today 3 stanzas of this. Stanza 1, stanza 3 that I read to you, and the doxology stanza 6. So remember, I don't know what, remember. Just remember those words and how universal, how great hymnody, that's what it is. Remember how great hymnody, great poetry, great hymnody is timeless and universal to the human experience. Pretty magnificent tune, and words that are equally magnificent. All right, join me back tomorrow for a musical moment with Bobby Thamert, local music educator and extremely fine violinist. We'll talk a bit, and then we'll play a wonderful piece for you. Tomorrow at noon, service of Eucharist and healing. And then Thursday, Taylor Harvey improvises, I think, on Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing, but I could be very wrong about that. But I think that's what it is. And as soon as Asbury gives me a link to the recital that I'm recording for them today, I will publish that on our church Facebook page, my Facebook page, and the music section of our church website. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you will, when you hear the recital, make a connection between this wonderful hymn and the Fugetta that I end the recital with, written by the same composer who harmonized this 18th century melody from France. Thank you and have a great day.